There are now 206 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Denton County as of today, Wednesday, April 1st. The fourth coronavirus-related death was announced yesterday. And I'm Caroline Cluiss. The coronavirus is proving to be a headache for the global economy. Big and small companies are suffering setbacks due to the disease. Yes, lots of pointing fingers. Last night, part of the Denton Board of Ethics voted to send the council members to the full board for a hearing. As support for Senator Sanders continues to grow, his campaign announced yesterday they will be opening new offices in Texas, one of which is right behind me in Dallas on Mockingbird Lane. She shot and killed 28-year-old Botham Jean in his own apartment. Now, Geiger claimed that she thought it was her own, but the jury said that's not good enough. She is guilty of murder. Murder in Texas carries a sentence of anywhere from 5 to 99 years, but today she was given 10. A local Denton business is investing in children's futures. Coyote Music Studio offers early childhood music classes for infants, toddlers, and preschoolers. Governor Abbott announced this morning that Texas has appealed the disaster declaration FEMA rejected for the October 20th tornadoes. The move was expected after FEMA denied the request earlier this month. For Dallas City Councilman Lee Kleinman, the federal denial was a blow.
I was obviously terribly disappointed. We're very much counting on getting the FEMA dollars to help us rebuild our infrastructure.
The federal agency said the numbers didn't add up, only approving a little over $18 million worth of damage, far short of the $38.5 million Texas needed to qualify for federal aid. But for residents affected, it's not about the money or the numbers adding up. It's about their homes, their communities.
So I feel a lot of empathy for people when I drive through. But then I see, oh, they got a new roof yesterday. So you're encouraged by things slowly but surely coming back to life. But it's pretty depressing sometimes to see how long it's going to take to come back.
With this appeal, the Abbott administration submitted a new damage estimate of over $45 million, and that's just to public infrastructure. Kleinman says one reason the request was initially declined was because the Dallas Independent School District didn't have documentation of the damage done to schools.
Infrastructure was a pretty big item. It will cause us to either not rebuild some of those things or dip into our emergency reserves in order to do that.
In his appeal to President Trump, Abbott outlined $27 million of damage done to 3 DISD schools, a move Kleinman hopes will help.
And all that's uninsured damage from DISD, and that should put us over the threshold. And so I guess the word is cautiously optimistic that we will have our appeal approved and get the declaration of disaster so we can start applying for FEMA funds.
Without FEMA aid, state and local governments will be on the hook to cover the costs. It's something they can't afford right now, as the coronavirus pandemic has put yet another unexpected stress on state and local budgets. If the state's appeal is approved, up to 75% of the county's damage could be taken care of. This will allow both Dallas and Erath counties to apply for aid and stretch more of their budget to help reduce the virus's impact. The debate was lively and spirited. Most of the heat turned towards candidate MHEGAR, whose campaign has raised over $3 million. A former Air Force pilot from Central Texas, she's one of the more well-known candidates. A recent voting poll puts her ahead by 6 points. She also has a Purple Heart.
We need to make sure that we have a leader who can be forward-thinking and actually embrace renewable energy.
Texas State Senator ROYCE West says he turned Dallas blue and he can turn Texas too.
With me at the helm, with the experience and the support, we'll be able to get this done.
Houston Councilwoman Amanda Edwards says that whoever wins will need to appeal to more than just Democrats.
We have to have a candidate that can actually put coalitions that are broad in nature in place in order to be able to have the votes necessary to unseat John Cornyn and to deliver real change for all Texans.
Activist Cristina Tsunsun Ramirez wants to make Election Day a national holiday. Her political views are further left than many of the other candidates, so much so that incumbent Senator John Cornyn refers to her as Ayo Cristina.
With me, you may not agree with every single issue, but you know exactly where I stand, because I believe that that voters should be able to decide what's in their best interest for their families, their future, and their country, and that's how I'm going to win.
She backs Ocasio-Cortez's proposed Green New Deal legislation, but former Representative Chris Bell says it isn't that easy.
The Green New Deal has some great things in it and some great proposals, but it would also decimate the oil and gas industry here in the state of Texas, the oil and gas industry that 500,000 people depend on.
Early voting ends a week from tomorrow, and there's more at stake than just Senate and presidential candidates. On this ballot, you get a chance to tell what issues you want your party to stand on. Find your nearest polling location at votedenton.com.